Hello everyone, hope you are doing good. This is Nirmit and today we are back doing another lead code question. Now, this is a very famous lead code question and it had been asked in one of the Google interviews also, exactly the same question. So this is like a must know question if you are preparing for companies like Google for the DSA round. And if you are here on this channel seeing this video, I can assure you that I will make you understand this question. Just stick with me throughout the video. So the question says that you are given an array routes representing bus routes where route I is a bus route that the ith bus repeats forever. For example, if route 0 is equal to 157, this means that 0th bus travels in a sequence 157, 157, 157 forever. It keeps moving around and around in that sequence. Now you start at the bus stop source and you are not on any bus initially. You start at the source and you want to go to the bus stop target. You can travel between bus stops by buses only. Now the question description was a bit confusing for me, so I will make it clear for you. Like here, this is the routes given to us. So in this entire thing is bus I. It is, suppose this is first bus, this second bus, and from this bus you can go to 127 bus stop, 367 bus stop. And in the question, this source, that is a bus stop given to you. Suppose here source is 1, so you are on bus stop 1. Now from here you can board any buses that pass through this bus stop. So this is basically the question, and we have to return the least number of buses you must take from source to target and return -1 if it is not possible. Constants given to us: routes length 500 and routes I dot length 10 to the power 5. All routes I are unique. Okay, so see, in first look, this question, most of you would have realized that it is a BFS question. It is a graph question where we have to run a BFS. But how we'll be running it, that's the confusion. How to tackle it, how to code it, that's the problem. So I will make you explain this question step by step, and then we will jump into the code also. So what many people think in first look, here I have like prepared a lot of already the things that I need to explain you so that I don't waste any of your time. So in first look, people assume that this question for BFS, the state which we will have is the buses. That is bus 1, bus 2, bus 3. Because in buses, you already have the bus stops listed. But that's not the most optimal way. You can do it, but the code will be more complex that way. Since you see that source is given to you as bus stop, target is given to you as bus stop, why not have a BFS state as bus stop? So first and foremost thing, if in the question you will create a map which will map every stop to the bus, that will have all the buses passing through that particular stop. For example, in this case, through the stop 1 I have buses 1, through stop 2 I have bus 2, and through stop 7 I have both bus 1 and bus 2 passing. So I will first create this map, and after that I will also need, in every graph algorithm you need to have a visited array which keeps track of the buses you have already visited. So in this question, what will you keep track of? Is it the buses or the stops? So it depends on the question basically, but here you will need to keep track of both buses and stops so that you don't repeatedly go through a bus which you have already evaluated or go through a stop that you have already evaluated. So we will have both two visited sets, and the pseudocode will look like we will push the source to the queue, and then for each bus from that source, from that particular source, whichever bus is passing, suppose here source is 1, so whichever bus is passing through this source, we will check if we have visited that bus initially or not. If we have not visited that bus initially, we'll push each stop from that bus to the sequence. And in this process, we will also keep checking for the target. If any stop is equal to the target, we'll return our answer. And if after traversing everything, our queue is empty and we have still not reached the target, we'll return -1. So that's the basic idea of the code. Let's start coding. As said, first we will have to create a map mapping stop to buses. So let me do that. And there are n buses we have, because routes dot size will have the number of buses we have. So for creating that map, I will just traverse through this. For int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. For each stop in that bus, that is routes I will have mpp k dot pushback I. Here we will have not unorder map int, we will have vector int. So if suppose this is your array, so first I'm traversing through the entire routes array, and then for each bus stop in each routes array, I am pushing that particular at that particular stop. I am pushing the bus through which we can come to that stop. So in that way, we will have an map where for each bus stop, you will have all the buses passing through that. Now our first step is completed. Next, we will need a queue for we will be doing a BFS. We will need a counter that will count the buses we have already passed through. Sorry, that will count the number of steps we have been into. That will be our output. This CNT will be outputting at the end. We also need a vector that will compute the number of buses we have visited n till now, and its size will be n obviously because we have n buses. We will also need another unorder. We will also need to keep the track of the bus stops we have visited. Now here a catch comes. You cannot have a vector of bus stops you have created, because if you see here the bus stop can go till 10 to the power, just a second, yeah, here routes ij is less than 10 to the power 6. So a bus stop can be of number 10 to the power 6. You need not have it like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It can be 1 5 10 to the power 6. So you cannot create a vector there because that will take plenty of space. So here I will create an unordered set of stops which will keep track of all the stops I have visited till now. Now in the queue, I will push the source because in the question it tells that we are starting from source, and I will also push source into the stops since we have visited source now. I will also check one more thing before doing all this. If our source is double equal to target, I will simply return the answer as 0 because we are already at the target. We don't need to board anything. So this is a edge case I will take care of. So yeah, that's pretty much of it. I think we are good to jump into the loops now. So while loop is not empty, while our queue is not empty, I will be traversing through this queue, and I will be doing it level by level. So I will have SZ which will keep track of my size, and since we have increased the level, I will just increase CNT by 1, and now we will traverse this entire level. Now we will first pop each stop, q dot front and q dot pop. If I have already visited this, now for each of the stops, for each of the buses from this stop, what was our pseudocode for each of bus from that particular stop? If that bus has not been visited yet, you will push each stop from that bus to the queue. So this is our bus stop. Now we will use our array that we had map that we have created before. So for int I from mpp k, that is for all the buses from that particular stop. If I have already visited if I have here we have to do one more thing. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah. So if we have already visited that particular, if we have already visited that particular bus, then I will just continue. We will not traverse through it again. If not, then for each of the stops from that bus, for each of the stops from that bus routes I. If I have not already visited that particular bus stop, so if not count dot z, sorry, if not stops dot count z, which returns us if z already occurs in our count or not, so in our stops or not, that is if we have already visited bus stop z or not. We will if we have not already visited it, we'll first insert it into the we'll first insert it into the stop set, and before that we'll also check if z is double equal to target. If it is double equal to target, we'll simply return cnt. That is our answer. Okay, I hope that much makes sense. Now we also have to push each of those stops. So if I have not already visited it, I will push that particular stop into the queue, and we can have this outside this. So it will be here because we are already anyways coming till Z. So we will can have it out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And yeah, if we have came out of the queue and we have still not find target, we will simply return -1 as the question asks if it is not possible. So let's run it and see if there are any errors we have done. Okay, so there are some errors we have done. Okay, here I have written unordered MP. It should be mapped, a very silly error. Tiny error that we have done, which was giving us TLE. I also have to update. Like if I have visited a particular bus already, I will just continue this loop. I will not go further. And if I have not visited that bus before, I will update it into the array bus I is equal to 1, which means that I have visited that bus now. Now I hope this will run perfectly without giving any TLE. Let's run it again. Perfect. The code is running nicely. We are achieving optimal time complexity. Great. In first look, you would see that there are two while loops and then there are two for loops inside that while loop. It would seem like a very high time complexity code, but that's not the case. It's if you see carefully, it's essentially big of n plus m only, where n is the size of routes and m is the size of route size. Why? Because in this while loop, essentially, this is running for big of n only, sorry, big of m only, that is the number of bus stops, and inside this entire thing for int I in mppk, for int z, this is all going through the number of bus stops. Sorry, the outer loop was going for number of buses and the inner loop is going for number of bus stops. So our essentially our time complexity is only big of n plus m, not more than that. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you got to learn from this video. I hope you completely understood this question. Eh, if you haven't yet, you can feel free to reach out to me in comments. I will be glad to help you in making this understand, because this is a very nice important question. Besides that, if there's anything I can help you with, you can also reach out regarding that in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you again. Signing off.